and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we'll do roll call. Paul Reardon here, Mark Bennett, Bill Starnes.
Here.
Bob McCullough.
Present.
Dave Smith.
Yep.
Steve Rhodes.
Here.
Okay. Here. Is there any other additions? Anybody, has anybody had a chance to look over the
Minutes?
yeah, the agenda? Does anybody have anything they want to add to it?
That's good.
Okay. So we need to approve the September 8th minutes. There was something that was noticed on the dates.
Yep, I've screwed up.
Which made me screw up.
Well, I know, sorry about that.
Just follow suit.
It needed to be adjusted so that the meeting was tonight instead of.
So September 8th was the date at the top,
Yeah.
instead of July 14th.
Oh, crap. Okay, hang on.
And then
I can make those adjustments, and then it's supposed to be October
October
13th instead of the 6th. See, if I don't make mistakes, you guys wouldn't have anything to catch.
So this is a good learning moment, because minutes are one of the requirements of the state, the Secretary of State, and these get saved forever. We have blocks of upstairs from 1986. So they'll check spelling, commas, whatever else. So I know like Dave Smith has a T on his name down there, and there's a comma in this one here. So what you guys can do is approve it with the corrections that we noted, and then all we do is just go back and edit it, and then we put it on the meeting thing on the website, which we'll be talking about in a few minutes, and then we're good for it.
Okay. All right. So other than the dates, then we're going to approve the minutes, or do we hold those over till the next meeting?
Just approve them as corrected, and then
We got the corrections, yeah, we got dates, Dave Smith's name's been corrected,
Okay.
2 commas have been added.
All
I'd
right. So
like
the
to make a
motion.
motion to accept the minutes as correction.
Okay. Second.
second, who's second?
I'll
Second.
second you.
Mark second.
All right. All in favor?
Bill first and you second.
Okay. So all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, minutes adopted. So now we're on to the financial report.
All right, we wrote a lot of checks. We have a balance, let's see, what do we have? $6,796.67. When we started, we wrote $5,868.91 in checks. Our checking balance is $8,882.28. Our money market made us $1.59. As of the 13th, we have $192,053.92 in our money market. I'd like to have a motion to pay the bills.
Motion to pay the bills.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who was the second?
Mark again.
Okay.
Mark.
Okay.
Vice President Bennett was second.
Okay.
Now, I just want to say that on the money, I talked to Bill about this, is that right now, we have to have all our grant money and stuff spent by December, so we're in full blown spending mode right now. And I mean, that doesn't mean, we have over $200,000 in the bank, and we're doing just fine, and our actual revenues start coming in about the middle of November next month, so but we just have to, if we're gonna take advantage of the grants, we have to spend the money before December or else. So I'm doing that. And there's not that much left to do, probably another $5,000 worth maybe, and I will do it.
I'm gonna transfer another, I don't know, $5,000 or $7,000 into our checking account probably this week to get us back up to 15 grand. Because we like to run, if we can, we like to keep 15,000 in our checking account for emergency sakes.
I also want to tell you that after, besides this report, Wheeler sends us an Excel spreadsheet every month that has our revenues, our actual expenditures by account, the revenues in each fund, and what's left, what we spent in each budget account, and what's left for the year in that account. So if you guys ever want this stuff, it's here. And I think I'm gonna put it on our website, or else, probably put it on our website, and it's gonna be in your guys' new books too, so. But just if you ever wanna look at something specific, this is this one especially I use is what I've spent, and what's left in an account for the rest of the year. That helps me out a lot.
Everybody on the board should be getting that through Wheeler's, they emailed it out to you, so it should be on your email also.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, she does email us.
Okay. Is that it on the financial report?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. So moving on, communications report. I saw we had somebody communicate to the fire department on email.
We did. We did. Yeah, we had public comment on our email, but all that's going to be addressed here with the website, so. Do we need to discuss it?
No. I read the email.
No, you did a great response, Dave. I thought it was very accurate and very controlled.
I think I responded to it also, and I talked with him earlier more today, and also we provided a link to our in-construction website, so he's in there now and seeing what we're doing. And we are a little bit behind on the website. It's going to probably be middle of next week. I think it'll be up and running, and then we'll retroactively put everything that's supposed to be back in there. We have the current stuff on it right now, and there's no intention of hiding or doing anything else. We're just stuck with this, putting the new website.
Takes time to get it in.
And Jerry, I think he understands that too.
Probably didn't realize we just did a turnover or something. Okay.
It was available on Zoom.
Well, that's another point too. If we want to, we did that in business leaders. Let's talk about Zoom. We also have the ability to do Microsoft Teams free because we have Microsoft 365, so we can go that way if somebody wants to do that in the future. There has been a little bit of interest in that. Anyway.
Any public comments?
No.
Okay. All right. With no public comments, we are on to the chief's report.
Chief's report, we had, September, we had 16 calls. We're down about half. We had a real big surge of COVID calls in October or August, and it went down in September. We slowed down. Everything slowed down. The fire season ended October 5th, and all our national cover fires were getting those ratings and stuff, so that kind of helped us out a lot. Did a lot of training. One of the big things we did is we hosted the countywide FPG school. It went really good. We didn't burn anybody, and that was a really good training day. Firefighters are we're continuing the physicals down there at Evergreen. The one firefighter we had off of quarantine for COVID is back. Nobody else got affected by the exposure. We're gathering the vaccine information. By October 18th, all of our guys have to be vaccinated or else have medical or religious exception. And we're close. We're about 90% right now. So I don't think we're going to have the issues that a lot of other departments and places are going to have. Let's see, Explorers. Floating pump, the one that had got damaged, is back. 1060, the door's still broken. We're waiting for that. The Dodge pickup, we had it budgeted for a new bumper and winch. We got that installed today. It's back. We're doing a lot of purchasing on VFA grant equipment, and it's been coming in, and we're just taking care of that. SCBA's, I don't know, you guys, as soon as we bought those SCBA's, our vendor was not, the SCBA company dumped them. So we had 2 additional vendors in Oregon we could go with. And I've been talking with them to get kind of bids on what some of the money costs for the different things that they're going to have to do for maintenance and fit testing and all that. So it looks like we're going to go with C West, which is a they have some local technicians. They're based out of Salem, but they have some local people down here, so I think that'll work out really good. Facility where you got some air filters and the air scrubber for the OSHA and COVID-19, the OSHA smoke mandate. We've been running that. And we had an emergency generator night where we ran all the generators, dug out our disaster preparedness equipment, set it up. We dragged the generator over to the range and went through the procedure for setting that up. That's about it. Office administration in lieu of audit was submitted. I gave you guys all a copy, and it's also on the. So we do what we call an in lieu report. If we spend less than $150,000 a year, they do an in lieu of report. It's basically a fill-in type thing. A couple things I wanted to mention is the president of the board is a registered agent with the state. So this is Rob Polbeck because it's last year's audit, but next year your name will show up on it, and the state, if they ever want to contact you about stuff, they're going to send stuff to you here. So I'll have it in your mailbox. If it's something from them, I'll make sure to contact you so you get it, so we don't let them sit there for a while. But it's a pretty straightforward thing. One other thing is we are insured for $100,000 for crime and that kind of stuff, and that's not what you're supposed to insure for actual expenditures, and we came in right. It was kind of interesting with the SCBA grant national, we came in like $99,800, so it was right underneath it. Because that would have been something they would have mentioned, and they don't do anything about it, they just mention those things. They go, hey, by the way, you're a little close on your expenditures, or you overspent in one line item or something. So this is what it looks like, and there's not a lot to it. We take the transaction list from Wheeler Bookkeeping, and we take the year-end Excel spreadsheet, and you can almost fill it out box by box. Some of the stuff doesn't match up. Anyway, that got in. It's due September 30th each year. So anyway, in the future, your name will show up on that. For the county, the board secretary is the contact, the agent of record. So like if we get anything about elections, taxes, or anything out, they're gonna send it in your name to our address here, so I'll get that to you. And we can deal with it, but it's gonna come to your name anyway.
That's fine.
The 6-digit codes for the door, they all got entered. Mark, we assigned you one. I gotta give it to you because I gotta find it now. We have a list somewhere. The older board member, previous, and the firefighters that are on leave of absence, they've been removed, so we're back to being fairly secure again. We're working on the position books are all right here. We printed off all the stuff that goes in them. Just got to collate it and stick it in there. I'll try to get it out in the next week or so. Participated with the communications officer in the website training. They want us to do an hour of training on site, and then we're going to get together with the guy, the customer service guy, and we're going to have to do. He says that he estimates it'll take about 3 hours to switch the website over, bring all the information back over and stuff. So we're going to set that appointment up for as soon as we can, hopefully early next week. So it's up. We have it up right now, and it's just a different address, and it says it's under construction, but we have all the legal stuff that's supposed to be up, at least for this meeting, and some of the stuff we're supposed to cover is already on there. So the LPG class we conducted, the Umpqua Fire Instructors Association, they asked for a tuition of $30 a piece for the attendees. We had around 30 attendees. We're collecting that money right now. We had a real good turnout. We spent about $500 in propane and about $200 in lunches. So we should. I had budgeted $700 for our propane every year because that's how much it costs when we do it. So it looks like by having this drill that will actually cover that part of the money that we budgeted, so, and actually maybe have a little bit left over. So, mask mandate just continues at the station or the training over here. So that's it.
So let's see, old business, I wasn't at the last meeting, but, old business last meeting was mask mandates, OSHA mandates, positive cases.
I kind of just covered that, the
yeah.
lots of cases we've had, so over, there's no quarantine going on.
Yeah. Website format approved and paid, and board training was the old business. New business, kind of covered that too, updating insurance, and fire season was over on October 5th at 11:59, so you can burn again. The audit was sent in, and again, website still is working, but needs, you mentioned something about training to me on the phone.
Yeah,
What is the training that's gonna be done?
for us, it's gonna probably be me and David here, because we're gonna be, actually, anybody on this board could, it's real easy to work this thing. So, but I wanna just show you a real sample real fast if I can. If we get this in, come on, dude. So here's, this is a sample website right now, so it's gonna come up like this. This is a carousel. We only have 2 pictures on right now, but we can put 3 or, you can put 3 or 4 as many as you want. And each one of those pictures comes up with a little teaser that you can hit, and it'll lead you to something like I put in our mission statement or something like that. Anytime you want to go back to home, you just hit Lookingglass Rural Fire District, and it'll take you back to home. So some of the stuff we've already done is governance. So board meetings, first of all, on the home page, if you go to the bottom, the most 3 current board meetings are here already. So if you hit one, it came up tonight. So we have our agendas listed there, our minutes are there, our chief's minutes are there, our treasurer report is there. And then we'll also be able, if we do the video on YouTube and figure out how to link that, we can put that there too. So every meeting that we ever have, we'll have that stuff linked to it right here on the, right there on the meeting. And then also there'll be pull downs in here. We're gonna add pull downs in here for minutes, agendas and all that. So you can go straight to them, but everything's gonna be stored in the meetings. It's unlimited storage, so although the 3 current meetings show on the home page, when you go to board meetings, let's see here, this can go back forever, every meeting that you've ever had. And so we just got 4 so far. Anyway, and it'll be broke up by year like that, and it'll be, 2019, 18, 17, if we want to go that far. But we were talking with them about how far on the website, we might only go like 3 years and then take everything else, because we have back to 13 and then further on our current website. But so we're gonna, we have a bunch of external hard drives. We're just gonna archive all that stuff and keep it just for cybersecurity and such. So board members, if you hit board members, we got all your guys' names on here and your term. What your positions are. We can add pictures of your happy face if you want to underneath them. Then eventually there's going to be staff for, it kind of works out to the same thing, who the vice president contacts are and the fire chief and all that stuff. We can do that. But I haven't got into that. We haven't got that for you. Transparency tells us all kinds of difference. The stuff that we're supposed to do to stay legal. So we have a contact page with we have to have our contact page. The enabling act or statute which allows us to operate is Oregon ORS 478. So I'll have a link for it, or we have that. You guys have it in all your books. It's a lot of really good reading. It'll go forever. So anyway, there's contact us. Volunteers will have some pictures and all that stuff. We haven't got that far into it. Services will have, I don't know if it's going to be under there, but we'll have all the call data. It probably won't be all color-coded like Jerry. The PDF map of our area that you can scan in and out of, it's a county map. And then Then I also have a little description of our area that it's like a demographic thing we made up for FEMA before. So those are all the different kind of things. We'll have pictures of our facilities and equipment here. We can keep on adding pull downs or drop downs under all these things. So it'll probably be facilities, equipment, a history of our department, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is how far they wanted us to get. And then what we're gonna do is get together with them and figure out, we'll probably add some more pictures here on the carousel with different teasers here. And then you can have these red buttons down here, which you can make them whatever you want, and you can go straight, it'll go straight to them to see. These will probably be like DFPA, the Weather Service, and something else, some kind of educational things down here. Plus, so they can look right at our website and see what the fire danger is currently or whatever. And by putting that link on there, instead of doing, we were having to update this manually. All we do is put DFPA's link on there with their picture, and when they hit it, it's automatic. It's right now. You're going right to their website. So that's pretty much it here. Let me let's see, which one is this? All right.
Well, I understand you guys can all have your own logins if you want to.
Yeah, we can add users.
Usually the drop downs are Steve.
Oh, it's there already. Yeah. Cool. And I don't think mine all I had, I've already saved the password. So when you go into this is the, getting in to do the work. So this is gonna tell you how many people have viewed it, you know, all that kind of stuff. Emails that are gonna be sent, because there's, on the contact us, there's a fill out thing where they can put their name, email address, and write a question to us. And then by doing that, we can go over here in the preferences or submissions, and depending on who it got sent to, it'll send that to your email, your real email. We can pick that kind of stuff. So anything on here like, so this is actually the edit thing. So we can edit any page just, because right now I'm in the admin section. We're not in the website actually. So we can edit anything just by hitting, I can edit this picture. It makes it really easy.
Yeah.
And when you want to edit it, it takes you to a menu where let's see, standard pages. Let's load them all. It'll take you to, so these are the pages that are actually happened that we filled out. So you can edit those pages just by clicking on them and bringing it up. And then it tells you, like we talked about, the board contacts. And then if we want to, let's see, one of the other ones. Let's see, so right here, standard page edit. Let's see this here. So I can, by hitting this right here, you can insert files, images, anything you want in there. So like this would be where we could put DFPA's file. So or their links or anything else. So I can insert an image from an image gallery, pick it up. We have all these images that are already preloaded, and we can just preload any of them we want. You just pick it up and drop it, or else just insert it right in. So it makes it really easy. I'm into this for about 5 minutes now, so, or half an hour, so it's pretty easy to mess with.
That's pretty cool.
So I think it's going to be a real good thing. So any of us can get in here and play around with users. Right now it's just Dave and me, but we can put anybody else in here we want to. There's a deal for donations. We can set up a website where a spot where people can make cash donations to us. All those kind of things. So menus here, this is how it's all kind of laid out as files. So we can add any menu here up that'll end up across the top. And anyway, that's what's. And then when anything ever goes bad, if you ever want to go to home, you just hit the Lookingglass or the fire district, and it takes you back to home. So that's.
Okay, don't sign out. Can you click on that one?
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I can do.
So compliance.
Oh, it blank, so I
talks
don't know that
about
there
the
is.
state, so accessibility was something that Jerry was really concerned about because for people that are deaf, blind people and all that. So by loading the pictures on WeHab, it automatically has a text at the bottom, which would, when they are using those kind of readers on this website, they can't see the picture, but it'll tell them, hey, this is a picture of fire with firefighters squirting water or something like that. So transparency, so these are all things we have to deal with to be legal. So these are all things that we still have to do it. So like we have a Disclosure Act policy. So we just go over here and hit add it in. I'll go find the file off of our computer and add it in, and that little red thing will go away. And this one's guidelines for how to do it. We have a procedure for that. So all we have to do is just go in here and start doing it.
And just add it
Yeah, and then all that stuff, and then it also shows up on the menu under the transparency page that those specific things will show up there.
Yeah, if I can, I would like to have a discussion about this, because like, like my position as communication officer is administrator of the website.
Right.
But Steve's doing it real deep, and I don't know if he really wants to. I'm wondering if we should have, like, 'cause this website's powerful. It can be really neat, a really nice tool for the community. Go beyond anything that they've ever seen before. Like I said, the link to the DFPA. There's just a million things this thing can do. But it needs a website guy. We need someone that's going to sit there and do that. You know, I don't know if Steve wants to. I have these dreams and aspirations of really wanting to be helpful for the community, but then when I mix it with my family and I have a job and things like that, I'm not a web designer guy. So I was wondering, like, as the administrator, I know it's my responsibility to make sure we're legal right here. So my initial plan is, we're gonna make it legal first, and then we can branch out from there. But there's all kinds of things that some members in the community may want, you know, like, YouTube popped up in our training. Like, we're already prepared to start pasting the camera file on every meeting. They pull it up and watch it. But I understand a little bit from the training, YouTube is recommended because it has closed captioning.
Right.
And that was the only benefit of YouTube. So there's lots of things like that. So I don't know, I kind of wanted to suggest, like, finding somebody or trying to create a committee, like with either the volunteers, board members. Steve may be into it. I haven't asked him. I mean, he may want to be a webmaster, but
I don't want to be it, but we could take care of the volunteer section. I think that would be an adequate way, a good way of doing stuff. I mean, we could take care of course, whoever is the administrator has to prove, you know, we can't take pictures of a cake party down at the store or something to put on there.
yeah, and I don't mind. I mean, I accepted that role. I don't mind administrator type duties. I really, you know, I would love to be a webmaster, but, you know, that's just, like I said, I have some major responsibilities in front of me.
Dave, we can always look at improving down the road. It doesn't all have to be on you. I think the problem is you know, you can see what we have for public involvement. So it's basically if any of us want to do it, I think we can expand it. I think right now, let's get used to it. Let's get it legal, get used to it, and then we can bring up at some future meetings, you know, if we have some inputs, or Steve can talk with some of the volunteers if they'd like to. But I think you're going to have somebody that still shadows it, whether you and Steve split that responsibility, which I think is certainly understandable because Steve has more of an interactive side to this, and again, you know, your responsibility as a voted member is to make sure we're legal. But I think the rest of this will develop. I don't think we have to solve all the problems tonight, nor do we have to, you know, move everything. I think
Yeah,
this is
I don't think we have to either. It's just, I don't want any misconceptions, you know, about like what my role is, what Steve's role is. I'm just saying, this is neat. It's powerful. It's gonna be really an asset to the community. But just to get it running, there's gonna be some features on there that are very positive, very positive.
I think
But-
you're right, like a committee of maybe a firefighter and me and you and I don't know if somebody else on the board, but just to first of all talk about, I've been looking at all the other ones they've set up about what should actually be on the menu, what pull down should be up there. One of the ambulance authorities down there there's an employee portal over there, so we can actually have our own section of this, so we can communicate between each other, have our own separate communication system versus instead of email or anything else, you know. We can post, say the packets that for volunteers for medical or their beneficiaries or whatever it is on life insurance. We can post that on there, it's just accessible to our guys, and
But
nobody else.
somebody needs to be the webmaster, so
Right.
they can go to
Somebody
them
has-
and do it.
Right,
And like you mentioned bios a minute ago, like board bios, or just description of who we are, maybe a picture, you know, kind of, or the community may find that interesting. And the volunteers, a way to promote them, and man, they're doing an awesome thing by being a volunteer. Have a neat bio up there, kind of give them a little, you know, rooting, and you know, I'd like to add all that. I can envision it, but
But you need help.
no, I, in my life, I cannot be a webmaster. I mean, when I took over this position, it was kind of a strange description, you know, but it is way beyond what I can do, and I'm
I
willing
don't
to,
think we're expecting you to do
it's
that.
way beyond what I'm willing to do, what was done previously.
yes.
So Jerry was,
Sherry had the time and the effort and wanted to do it, so.
and
No, I
the
think-
knowledge.
But
I think
it
it's
goes
still
so far
well-
beyond,
Yeah.
you know, like email addresses. You know, does this have a server for the email addresses, or do we still have to?
I have to talk to him about how we.
Yeah, 'cause
I think it links to our email system.
Yeah, so somebody still has to manage the email
And
thing,
you-
but
You guys will find out more once you go through the training. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really tough. I mean, I know there's a lot of capacity, but, you know, give it a little bit of time, Dave. I don't think that we're expecting, you know, I think everybody's trying to get there as fast as we can, but this is a big project, so
Yeah. it's
just take it in small bites.
Yeah.
Do we
I'm
have
perfectly satisfied with where you're at.
do we have a web service or web company that we're paying
Yes.
for?
We have
Yeah.
WordPress right now.
Yeah, but they're not,
no,
they don't
We don't have,
ride their.
no,
they don't-
we had Jerry.
We had Jerry.
Jerry
it's a
wrote the
volunteer
WordPress
thing.
website. WordPress is a free service.
Yeah.
But yeah, like going in and signing new passwords, I don't have a clue. I mean, that's not, you know.
So what you're saying is we might need to hire
we need a
web
manager of the
master.
website.
Yeah, we need a webmaster, somebody that can go in there and keep track of all that.
When things change, yes, you guys say, yeah, you can make a decision. If it's someone decides to say, I can't do this anymore, we have someone step in to a board position, then someone's gotta get in there and change all that stuff.
Yeah.
We have pictures that come out from another LPG class, or we have another MBA thing. Someone's gotta add all those pictures in there, and someone's gotta get the bios from the employees, you guys, and they all have to add them in there. Someone has to keep track of all that, and the things that change. It's one thing, I mean, Steve could go and upload all this stuff when it comes in, 4 or 5 files, but someone has to say, hey, here's a bunch of pictures, put them on the website. It's like,
Yeah.
there's a lot to it. There's a lot to maintaining it and keeping it current and updated.
It's a lot of work.
I think that, I still think like a committee or something, just getting some people together and finding out what we're doing. And as administrator, you don't have to do all the work either.
No.
This board here, you guys don't have to do the work. You're the
Governing.
overseers, the policy makers and stuff. So whether we do it or we find somebody in our fire department that can do it, or we hire somebody to do it, you know, for a couple hours a month or something, it wouldn't take more than a couple hours a month. to-
No, not
to
even
update
close,
stuff,
yeah.
or even an hour to do. As far as the routine paperwork, once you get good at it, it's not gonna take that much to do it. every once in a while we'll have something.
And I don't mind putting time in. I mean, I accept this position to be of service, you know.
I think Rob had the best idea though, let's make it all legal and get it up to date there, and let's work at it step by step. We don't have
Take
to.
baby steps.
I
Yeah,
thought
we
that
don't
was my
have-
idea.
Huh?
I thought that was my idea. But
You
no,
take it and run with it, but I think that we, you know, the only thing is we're a little bit cart before the horse, because we gotta be able to get used to how it works. And I know it's got a lot of capacity, but, you know, I'm certain that with good communication, we can get other people adding some things on. Maybe we do hire somebody, or we find somebody that has an interest. Until you start putting out, until you start defining what we need and what we're looking for, it's really tough. I mean, we're really kind of a little
Shooting
bit
in the
into
dark.
this.
making it legal first,
Yeah.
and then make it fancy after I put the frosting on it after that.
This will all work out.
So all this
We got
stuff
some
here,
future
this
discussion.
legal part here, the basic legal stuff,
Yeah.
it's, there. All I gotta do is go in there, I just haven't had time, but anybody can do it.
Yeah.
You just go in into our computer and pull the file for this year's budget, you know, the Excel file, and that's done, you know, so there's one red check mark, so. And this here is probably a couple hours work at the most, you know, if we have to create a document or something, but I haven't seen anything we really have to create. I don't know. Let's see what that one. Current fiscal year budget, yeah, I already saw that.
But like posting minutes, posting the agenda, all these things that we're responsible for as board members too. And then I guess I'm responsible to go and see if that's done, you know? The tools are there, and like I said, you could have your own password and post the minutes if you wanted, or we'll set up a better avenue to send them to me or something like that, and I can post them.
Yeah, but again, that can all be worked, I mean,
Yeah.
once we're familiar with it, all of us can probably do something,
Yeah.
so that it takes some of the load off, and then if we have people that wanna do more, then that's great. I think that, you know, again, just because we have a tool that can expand doesn't mean we have to use every ounce of it right now.
No.
We could just give it some time, but yeah, again, yeah, we can sit down and discuss. Once you guys have the training and understand how to work with it, we can upload the stuff, then we can start breaking out some of these responsibilities.
Steve's going above and beyond right now, because
Yeah.
he's.
I was just
He always
playing
does.
around.
He always does.
That's what Steve always does.
But I don't know if he wants to, I don't wanna.
He'll tell
I
you.
was just playing around with it, if you wanna do,
It doesn't matter even if you have someone that's doing it majority of the time, full-time, you need to have a backup.
Well, you do, and I think that we're gonna have to be somewhat involved. I mean, I think all of us can take on a little bit of that, Dave, to be able to distribute that. But let's get through the training and figure out who can do what and make it functional, and then we can improve on that function. I do. So that's my 2 cents.
the only other
Looks
part of
great,
this
Steve.
on the, meetings and stuff is that, that the laws, the state laws and stuff have, the agendas are supposed to be up in before 5 days and all that. So all of us, including myself, we need to, maybe gear up to be a week or two ahead. So we're always 2 weeks ahead of the meeting when we're starting to throw the paper around. The only thing that is a problem is the treasury report. 'Cause we're not, I don't have the bills till the first.
Right, and not only that, you know, he can turn it in on the first, and I end up getting it the
That's what happened today.
that afternoon of the day of the meeting, you know, and I have to call and remind them, do you have it? Because they'll say, we'll call you when you get it in. Bullshit. You know?
The basic
just post
agendas
what
and all
you
that
can,
stuff
it's
can be
fine.
out.
I don't have,
Yeah, those are
because
good.
everything goes to Wheelers, and then they get.
I'll be better about
the
that.
day
You tell them
of
it's,
the meeting.
we're dealing with it. As long as we tell them what our process is, this is all recorded anyway, Bill.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything underhanded.
Anyway,
Okay?
Yeah,
no, you're not leaving, I don't care what you say.
No. You're in here for 4 years, son, so you might as well sit out and shut up.
figure it out.
Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna sign, so I sign out of here, or anybody signs out of here in your and it takes us back to the website itself. And there you go, that's our website.
well, and on the discussion, without getting deeper, is there a volunteer that you two are familiar with all of them, that you think may
Figure that out. Let's see.
Ask around.
I had somebody before, but they're not here anymore. I do have people that are interested in specific parts of it. Like if we had a volunteer page of pictures and stuff, we got people that would be all over that. I person that's into the history of the department. And when I throw all that stuff to them, they'll make us a wonderful history document, and pictures and everything, so.
Oh, and our, even the community, it's gonna be very nice when the address is out there, we put it on the reader board and.
I never even saw the old website.
Right.
It's too,
What's that?
Not missing much.
it's too bad.
It's really hard to.
I would have had it just now, but I lost it, so, sorry. But anyway, it's on, if you just hit Lookingglass.org on Google or something, it comes up.
But
There's
it
two
is-
versions of it. There's the original version, Lookingglass.org, and then there's the WordPress version, which is a little bit different. But they kind of look the same, but they just.
But this one's not up there yet. right?
No, but this,
This one's not up to the public yet at all.
oh,
It just
I
says
actually
instruction.
gave one person a link
Wow.
just to make them happy, but we could say right now that this, well, probably about Tuesday, because we actually haven't paid this yet. So that's another deal, is as soon as we have the appointment with the other guy and go live, then it can go, it's gonna take over the Lookingglass board thing. The other one's gonna get renamed or somewhere that we can archive it and collect all the data off it.
Okay, well, along that lines, like I said, just, like I told you while on the phone, I can do appointments anytime. I live by appointments,
Okay.
my career and stuff, so, yeah, I can do any time of the day, night, whatever.
My intent is to try to, I'm gonna talk to them tomorrow and try to set an appointment, see what, we have to work with them, because they're doing this all over the country, but, hopefully next week, I hope, sometime. And it's not gonna be that big a step to get legal. We can be legal before they even do anything, before they turn it over.
And there's always some give, Steve, if we're under construction. That's understandable as long as we're moving ahead. Okay.
Anyway, that was all on that, I'm sorry.
No, that was pretty cool, actually.
Took a long time.
No, you liked it. Okay, so that's website. Okay, so president's report. You know, I missed last meeting. I apologize. I was taking care of my 87-year-old father. The thing that I was talking with the chief about was, you know, these public invites to the trainings that they do on Thursdays. And those are, what time on Thursdays are those at?
7 usually.
7 o'clock, so the same time. What kind of training are they doing tomorrow?
Auto extrication. We should have a trunk car up there either tonight or tomorrow morning, I hope. And if not, we're gonna use our old.
What do you do with it? Just cut the doors off or tear it apart?
Do some simulations. It's real easy to
Do
tear
you need
them
to
apart.
donate?
Tear them apart without hurting anybody is hard.
Do you need to donate? I've got 2 cars in my shop that we're getting rid of.
I think we have a guy that's a scrapper that drops them here. This is the last drop before they're going to the recycler, so
Okay.
he's supposed to have done that to me.
All right. If you don't, let me know. I've got one I'll give you.
Anyway, yeah. we're
Better
going
off
to-
with a donation, right?
That's right.
One thing we had planned on our training calendars that would be posted on there too, was that we would have at least semi-annual open house this year. Maybe to coincide in October with Fire Prevention Day, but another one just to host, have hot dogs, hamburgers, or whatever, and just go out and do stuff, do something here, you know, bring people in and do something. Have a
We
mini
did that
firefighters
last, we did that last year.
we
or
did
2 years
that a
ago.
couple years ago. The COVID thing screwed it all up, because we were gonna do that on a couple Saturdays this year, and just try it out, and then hopefully draw some more people in for volunteers and all that stuff. So that's gonna be, as soon as this all stops, we got some guys that are really wanting to do that, and then that'd be on the website and all that stuff too, so that'd be good. And was a way to grab the younger kids too, like, our Explorer program right now is down to 1 or 2 kids, because they're all aging out, they're all becoming adults now, so.
You're not
we
back
gotta
home
go
at the
find
school
some-
anymore, are you?
I haven't been down there. But, that's a good outlet too, is the schools, anyway. Yeah, you guys are always welcome, anytime.
I'll be here tomorrow. When is Fire Prevention Day?
It was a week, and it was, I don't know what it is this one. It's like this week, if I'm not mistaken. So the theme is, know the noise of your smoke detector. Know what your smoke detector's saying. So it's all about what it sounds like when it's going off, what it sounds like when the battery's low. And also they added carbon monoxide detectors into it this year. So normally every year we would be doing a program with the school this time of year, but that hasn't happened either because of COVID, so I don't know what she's gonna do about that this year. We always do a extinguisher program before the school starts with the teachers and actually have them put out fires and we discuss their evacuation plan. And then usually in October, they bring them all over here on buses and run them through this. We plan a whole day, and that hasn't happened. That's been 2 years ago too, just like the other organizations. So
Be nice to
we
start.
gotta get back to that again.
Yeah. Okay. Director's report? Do we have a director's report? No? Do we have any additional board member comments? No? No comments? Public comments? No public comments? All right, I don't think we have anything else, so next meeting, November 10th, 2021 at 7 p.m. If there's nothing else, we'll adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Bill and Mark.
Bill and Mark, you guys make it easy. Okay.